now go on the other foot. Let's go back to our other foot. Start on your left. Stay forward. Try to be out a little bit quicker and try to hop a little bit quicker on that foot. Okay. Wait. Keep your hips forward. You're turning your hips that way. Keep your hips this way. Face the trees. Yep, 1, 2, 3, and stay forward, explode. Good effort. Try to use your right foot as you go to drive. Try to get your left knee up to your chest, right, and out as you push off that right foot. All right, on that flat-footed a little bit, and so that's what causes the stopping. He needs to, when we want him to land, you want him to land a little bit more forward with his, without his heels touching and not stomping, but landing like that and pushing. Right when he lands, he should already be pushing. And so it's a little bit quicker.
This one's kind of similar. So you throw the ball, then turn around, and the defender's there.
Yes, they should have turned to the right outside.
Yeah, outside, right.
Instead of trying to come back in.
Through the turn on the outside.
Yeah, a lot of it is just understanding, like, always remember, like we always tell players, is you want to turn away from the defender. Try not to turn it into the defender. Because when you're that tight, most of the time you're going to go into that tackle.
Yeah.
I like to just keep the parents in the loop in terms of their child's development and what their kids need to work on, so that they can also monitor the little things that their kids are doing to help them to make sure that they're working on those things at home and not falling into those old habits, but trying to do it correctly. So, which is why I like to provide that feedback, so that when they watch their kids practice, they can correct their kids to help them as well. So when you receive inside to outside, okay? When you receive inside to outside, here, have your body forward, okay? Right. You're receiving it, but your body's upright. And then when I say go, then you're like coming down. You've already got to be here and just going, okay? Ready? Go. Inside, outside, let's go. Yep. Do you move? Start your move. Get up, yep. Stay forward. All right. There you go. Push off stronger so it releases off his foot or slides off his foot a little bit farther, so that he has that space. I know grass is always a little bit harder when you're switching because it's slower, so it slows down the ball. So yeah, but I mean, he just but when he does all the other stuff, I would like to see him just a little more aggressive in terms of just doing the move and the movement and the explosion and being quick. Yeah. You remember, you got to react a little bit quicker to the defender, right? 9-6. Step in. There you go. 10-6. Well done. Sometimes it's almost like you're waiting for it to happen before you go. You need to try to go just before or right when it's happening. You should already be going, instead of waiting until it's already happened and then trying to. Right. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So let's just focus on that first. But I would say homework. Your homework is going to be turns, and you can even do that, with your dad and your sister. Okay, right? Work on that, where your dad could pass you the ball and Michelle can be your defender, and you got to turn on her and work on churning, right? Does that make sense? Yes, that's good. All right, see you before.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But when she plays left wing, she tends to dribble the ball really close to the line and get a very narrow angle to shoot.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so she needs to focus more on
getting to
more inside. Yeah. And the other thing too is, though, she can actually go outside, but she's got to commit the defender to come outside so she can cut in on the inside of that player, so she can get that shot with her right foot.
Right.
Yeah. And then Michelle?
Michelle, just anything.
Okay. Yeah. We'll work on doing those movements coming down the line, and then trying to cut back in and then strike. And then for Michelle, we'll work on the same thing, because really you can apply that at any parts of the field, so she can still also work on those things and striking the ball, and then also focus on the striking as well as trying to do the moves and try to be a little bit quicker. Yeah. All right, ready?
Oh, thank you.
You got a quick drink of water, Michelle? Might want to get one before we start, because you were just running. Yeah, just walk up towards her. That means she has to do the move a little bit earlier, okay? So after she beats the first defender, you can start walking up to her and she'll just try to beat you. So that her timing of the move has to be better now, okay? Ready? Go. Yeah, keep walking to her, keep walking to her. Do the move, yep. Cut. Shot. This last portion where you beat the third defender, right? But as you beat the third defender, then I want to focus on that last cutback, right? Because your angles are more forward. You guys notice that? So your touches go forward, right? If our touches are going forward though too, we have to remember where's the goalie, right? In comparison to that, and where's that other defender centrally. Does that make sense? Where are they coming from? So is it something that we can still get the shot off without having to go forward so much, right? But still get our shot off and maybe even get it so it's going more far post, okay? Because we have to remember the goalie most of the time is going to stand where if you're on this side of the field? Exactly, right? They're going to stand closest, right? So our shots should be looking to go far. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to put cones out just in the front where we think the keeper might be. Does that make sense? And then we'll focus on that last bit. Just try to, I know, grass is always a little bit harder because it's a little bit slower, right? Okay, here you go. Everything else, not too bad. I mean, it could be tightened up there, but it's this final third that I'd like them to try to focus a bit more on. So they're a little bit cleaner, just a little bit better, so that it sets them up for their shots if they're looking to strike with that right foot. Croy?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the difference? Yeah, and where's the Croy? Yeah, close, yeah.
Yeah, so my girls actually tried out the first touch program earlier, maybe 2 years ago, and really enjoyed that program. And then they continued to do the regular Coerver program starting this spring. So it's been almost a year, and they really enjoy it. I really like the program because it's emphasized on technique, which is pretty rare during their own team practices. And also they got to learn with awesome coaches. They're really passionate and really good, and they're just good with kids. I am super happy about that. I think they learned a lot and had exposure to many different players. That's really good. I feel like the private training, of course you get more time, one-on-one time with great coaches, and also it's very customized towards your own kid, so you can focus on your weaknesses as well as your strengths. It's definitely valuable, and I think I like both private and just regular classes, but you can get the best of both if you do both. I think they also learned a lot in terms of getting more confident, just due to more playtime and more one-on-ones. Really love that aspect of the program, and honestly a lot of the good kids in their teams are doing this program too. That I think proves this is a really solid, good program as an addition to their regular team trainings.
Now, focus on trying to strike it. Primary focus on this session was making more game realistic situations and making sure that they're using their moves quickly based on where they're going and where the defender was, and then at the end of it was focused on towards making sure they can get that shot off and making sure they cut that ball at the right proper angle to set up for those shots. So I like to do the videos just so that I can show them what their natural tendencies are or habits are, and then I like to show them specifically, right, what they're doing so that I can explain to them this is to correct them in terms of making sure that they're doing it properly, and showing the video of what their tendencies are, then they understand what they're doing, and then when I'm trying to explain to them what they're doing and how to correct it, then they're also visually seeing those little habits or tendencies